This video shows how to extract from zip. So remember, the main thing with TEISS and other programs, when you're working with a database, you can't just go to the zip project file and double click it to unzip it. It has to be unzipped or extracted from within the program itself. So in this case, I've made a project in TEISS 3.6.26 that's called Delaware Nation, and I zipped it so that then I can email it to Victoria de la Rosa, where she can extract from zip. So I'm first of all going to leave this alone, not unzip it, and I'm going to open up TEISS. So because I've always got a few different versions of things, I always go to Lakes Environmental and then TEISS View and open up TEISS View. Remember, I don't do anything with this zip file yet. I open up TEISS. And that opens up. I say OK, and now we've got a nice blank screen in front of us. So what I do is I go to File, Backup, Extract from Zip, and now I navigate to where that file is saved. Delaware Nation, and it only looks for these zip files. I say open, and now it takes a while to extract it because it already has the National Emissions Inventory data in it from the 6 counties. Because this project is actually a database, you've got multiple files in here, and they're all going to be looking for the database name for your project. So I called the project Delaware Nation EI. There's no special characters or blanks in the name. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to say OK. And now it says we have to log in. You know what the password associated with username SA, which you just keep as SA, and say OK. And now it takes a while to unzip. And now finally it says, would you like to sign in? And you know what this password is. That is case sensitive. And now TEISS is open, and it's open up this dialog box that asks you what you want to do. In this case, we're just going to look at the data, so I'm going to say cancel. We don't want to do any of those things. And the way it opened up on mine is really tiny, so I'm going to make it bigger by clicking the plus sign there and then clicking on it and making it bigger a bunch of times. And now you can see here are the 6 counties. I'm going to go back to a hand so I can drag it over to the middle. And all of these are sources. So to look at a source and see what's in it, what you do is you change to the selection arrow tool. But before I zoom in, just take a look at the legend here. You can see that the top item in the legend is facility, and then the dark blue is the release points. Well, we're still zoomed out so far that we can't see the facility. What it shows us are release points of this facility just because of the way the mapping program works. So let's take a look at this source right here on the border of this county, but we need to really zoom in more. So I'm going to go back to the plus sign, and I'm just going to plus zoom in right on this facility. And now when you zoom in a lot, you could see that there's the cross hatching of the facility, and the blue is the release point. So now that we're zoomed in enough, let's go back to the select tool. Now when we click on it, it will show us what could possibly be in this point on the map that we're clicking on. So this is a facility called the West Smallwood Composter Station. Also, of course, we've got the whole county. This is Custer County. Then we've got the non-point sources that are in the National Emissions Inventory data for Custer County. And the same goes for the non-road mobile sources and the on-road mobile sources in Custer County. This is just the data that's already in the National Emissions Inventory database. So this is how you have to zoom in a lot to be able to see the actual facility. And so now to see everything again, I'm going to click the minus sign and zoom out, and now you can see more clearly in this particular county. You've got these different facilities. that have release points within them. And some of them have quite a few release points because you've got a lot of facilities and sources here. Have fun with this project. It looks pretty juicy.